For the Washington and Lee Athletics Year in Review, I'm Jeremy Franklin. We started in the fall where the volleyball team went 28-7 and claimed the program's 14th ODAC championship, beating Lynchburg 3-0 in the conference final. The Generals advanced to the Division III tournament, dropping a hard-fought three-set match to Barry in the opening round in Atlanta. M.A. Bowles finished her career as the conference's all-time leader in kills, earning her second ODAC Player of the Year award and going on to receive All-Region, Academic All-District, and Honorable Mention All-America honors. She was joined on the All-ODAC First Team and the Virginia Sports Information Director's All-State Team by classmate Megan Molesky, who became just the second player in program history to record 3,000 career assists. In head coach Rolf Peranian's 38th and final season at the helm, men's soccer finished 10-3-5, advancing to the ODAC semifinals before being knocked out by top seed Randolph. 13 was a magic number for the Generals this year. Zach Colby bagged 13 goals, while the defense conceded just 13 total goals in 18 matches. Colby was named First Team All-ODAC, All-State, and All-Region. Patrick Berry also appeared on the All-Conference First Team, while he and goalkeeper Albert Civitrice were Second Team All-State selections, and Al Organ was named the ODAC Scholar Athlete of the Year. Coach Peranian, meanwhile, finishes his terrific career with 313 wins. Women's soccer put together a spectacular season, going 17-3-1 overall and 11-1-0 in the ODAC, ultimately falling to top seed Lynchburg in the conference final. The Generals' balanced offense featured 7 different players who scored at least 4 goals, while the defense kept 13 clean sheets and limited the opposition to 9 goals in 21 matches. Ashley Hogan was named Rookie of the Year by the ODAC and Co-Rookie of the Year by the Virginia Sports Information Directors, and she was joined on the All-Conference First Team by Holly Beasley, Haley Ward, and Addie Healy. Beasley was a first-team All-Region pick, with Hogan earning a spot on the second team, while those two were featured on the All-State First Team along with Healy. The field hockey team finished 5-15 overall and 3-5 in the ODAC, losing at Randolph-Macon in the conference quarterfinals. Nolani Schulmeyer led a talented group of first-years by winning the ODAC Rookie of the Year award, while senior defender Riley Hamsch was selected First-Team All-ODAC, Second-Team All-State, and Second-Team All-Region. Big news came in the offseason as Washington and Lee was selected to host the NCAA Division III Championship in 2014 and 2015. In men's cross country, a young Washington and Lee squad put together an impressive season, placing third at the ODAC Championship, the team's best finish in 4 years. At the conference meet, 3 of the Generals' top 5 finishers were first years. Max Strahler came in 5th, earning First Team All-Conference and ODAC Rookie of the Year honors. He and sophomore Levi Waring garnered All-Region awards as they helped the team place 12th at the South-Southeast Regional Meet in Newport News. The women's cross-country team finished 4th at the ODAC Championship, with Annalise Madison and Casey McIntosh placing 5th and 6th overall to earn spots on the All-ODAC First Team. Madison also received the conference's Scholar Athlete of the Year award, and the senior went on to place 5th at the South-Southeast meet, picking up All-Region honors and qualifying for the National Division III race in Hanover, Indiana. Football battled through an injury-plagued campaign to finish 5-5 overall and 3-4 in the ODAC. Offensive lineman Connor Hollenbeck capped off a decorated career by earning First-Team All-America honors from the American Football Coaches Association, as well as First-Team All-Region and Honorable Mention All-America citations from D3Football.com. He helmed the winningest W&L senior class in 50 years, as the class of 2014 went 29-13 overall and claimed a pair of ODAC titles. Hollenbeck and fellow lineman Bobby Jones were First-Team All-Conference and All-State picks this season, while running back Marshall Hollerith was named Rookie of the Year by both the ODAC and the Virginia Sports Information Directors. Hollenbeck and defensive back Mitchell Thompson were also selected to play in the D3 Senior Classic All-Star Game in Salem. Moving on to the winter, where youth was a major theme. Women's swimming won its 7th consecutive ODAC title and the 24th in program history, once again dominating the conference meet in Greensboro. Stephanie Foster was named the ODAC Scholar Athlete of the Year, and she was joined on the All-Conference First Team by fellow Generals Meredith Hardy, Lauren Kasoff, Sydney Gay, Caroline Hamp, Emma Swab, Elizabeth Holmes, Jillian Lee, and Emily Rollo. Washington and Lee's season also featured a 9-2 record in dual meets and first-place finishes at the ODAC Relays and the Franklin and Marshall Invitational. Of the 19 records on the books for the W&L program, 10 new marks were set in 2014, and all of this happened for a team that had 15 underclassmen on a roster of 23. The men's swimming team placed 10th at the Bluegrass Mountain Conference Championship in Charlotte. The Generals' 21-man squad featured 11 first-years and 5 sophomores, but Washington and Lee was still able to post an 8-2 record in dual meets, including victories over the 2 ODAC schools on the schedule, Randolph-Macon and Hampton-Sydney. Featuring 7 first-years and 4 sophomores on a 12-man roster, wrestling finished 6th at the Centennial Conference Championship at Ursinus, with 174-pounder Ron Tassoni earning the school's first individual conference title in 13 years and claiming first-team all-conference laurels in the process. Tassoni and Bennett Lewis, who advanced to the final in the 197-pound bracket at the Centennial meet, would both earn Scholar All-America honors. As a team, the Generals went 2-11 in dual meets and placed 14th at the NCAA East Regional. Without a senior on the roster, women's basketball wrapped up the year at 6-19 overall and 4-12 in the ODAC, falling at Roanoke in the first round of the conference tournament. As might be expected for such a young team, the Generals struggled on the road, but their one win away from home was an overtime victory over a Lynchburg team that finished 3rd in the conference. The men's basketball team went 8-20, including a 3-13 mark in ODAC play. The Generals struggled during the regular season, slipping to 11th in the conference standings, but W&L then went on a remarkable run in the ODAC tournament, upsetting 6th-seeded Randolph on the road and bouncing number 3 seed Guilford in Salem before falling to eventual champion Virginia Wesleyan in the semifinals. Center Drew Kimberly, who battled through injuries throughout his career, put together a breakout senior season and earned the ODAC Scholar Athlete of the Year award. Records would fall throughout the track and field season. The women's team placed 3rd at the ODAC Indoor Championship, winning 2 major pieces of hardware. Annalise Madison was named the conference's Scholar Athlete of the Year, while Dana Lee received Rookie of the Year honors. Madison won the mile and finished 3rd in the 800 meters, and Lizzie Stanton set a new school mark while placing 1st in the pole vault. Lee scored in 4 events, including runner-up showings in the 200 meters and the long jump. Jillian Catterhagen claimed 2nd in the pole vault and 3rd in the 60-meter hurdles, while Lee Danhauser placed 2nd in the high jump, and the 4x400 relay team came in 3rd. Lee would go on to finish 9th overall in the long jump at the NCAA Division III Championship in Lincoln, Nebraska. Men's track and field also came in 3rd at the Indoor Conference Championship, where Max Strahler earned the ODAC Rookie of the Year award after winning the 5,000 meters. The Generals also claimed 5 second-place finishes, including runner-up performances by the 4x400 and distance medley relay teams. Xander Tallman, who was part of the 4x400 relay, placed 2nd in the 400 meters and 3rd in the 200 meters, while Aaron Jong came in 2nd in the 60-meter dash. David Fishman finished 2nd in the pole vault, while Ian McDonald was 3rd in the mile run. Tallman and Jong would both represent W&L at the National Division III meet, where Tallman became the Generals' first All-American since 1969, registering a 3rd-place finish in the 400 meters. More track and field later on. Riding won the program's 2nd-ever ODAC title, placing 1st at the conference championship in Weir's Cave. Claire Stevenson led the way with the 1st-place individual finish to earn ODAC Rider of the Year honors. Kaylee Wells came in 3rd overall, claiming the Conference Rookie of the Year award and joining Stevenson on the All-ODAC first team, while Gordon Reistrup was selected as the ODAC Coach of the Year. At the IHSA Zone Finals in Roanoke, Stevenson placed 3rd in the open equitation over fences, while Laura Lemon took 3rd in the intermediate equitation on the flat. Now on to the spring. Men's golf came in 2nd at the ODAC Championship in Conover, North Carolina, marking the Generals' best finish since they won the title back in 2009. W&L was tied with Guilford heading into the 3rd and final day of competition, but the Quakers pulled away to claim their conference record 14th crown. Conley Hurst tied for 1st overall, losing the individual championship on a playoff hole. Led by Hurst, 3 of the Generals' top 4 scorers this season were first-years. In its 2nd full varsity season, women's golf placed 3rd at the ODAC Championship, an event that is also just 2 years old. Rachel Wright, who led the Generals in stroke average this year, finished in 3rd place in the individual standings, earning all conference honors for the 2nd straight season. Men's tennis wrapped up the year at 18-5, running the table in the ODAC to claim its 33rd conference championship. The Generals were selected to host the opening rounds of the NCAA tournament, defeating Catholic 5-0 in the first round before falling 5-1 to 12th-ranked Kenyon in the round of 32 on Saturday. Taylor Shamshiri was selected as the ODAC Player of the Year, with Michael Holt receiving the conference's Scholar Athlete Award. Those two were joined on the All-ODAC first team by Christopher Hu, Jordan Krasner, Brian Kruskos, Sam Borowski, and John Kirby. Washington and Lee experienced all of this success with an underclassmen-heavy roster. All of the all-conference honorees will return to the fold in 2015. But this season isn't done. Shamshiri and Holt were selected to the 16-team doubles field for the NCAA Championship, and they'll travel to Claremont, California for the Division III tournament next week. The women's tennis team went 18-3, also putting together an undefeated conference run and earning the school's 24th ODAC title. The Generals received a first-round bye in the NCAA tournament, upending Sewanee 5-0 in the second round before falling to host Emory 5-0 in the regional final. Sonia Meehan, who started her season by finishing as the runner-up in singles at the ITA Small College Championships in October, received her third ODAC Player of the Year award, while Erin Ness won Conference Coach of the Year honors. Joining Meehan on the All-ODAC first team were Chelsea Mixon, Megan Buell, Mary Elizabeth Shutley, Brooke Donnelly, Alekia Tenali, Claire Cahill, and Patricia Kirkland. At next week's NCAA Individual Championships, Meehan will compete in singles, while she and Kirkland were selected for the doubles field. Despite losing 7 batters from its 2013 starting lineup, baseball put together a strong campaign, finishing 18-13 overall and placing 4th in the ODAC with an 11-9 conference record. In a great statistical anomaly, the Generals went 3-7 in conference play at home, balancing that out with an impressive 8-2 road record. At the ODAC tournament in Lynchburg, Washington and Lee dropped a 5-4 decision in 10 innings to eventual champion Bridgewater and then fell 6-3 in an elimination game to top seed Shenandoah. Center fielder Keegan Dolan set a single-season school record with 11 home runs on his way to first-team All-ODAC honors. Now for more track and field. The men finished third at the ODAC Outdoor Championship in Salem. Xander Tallman was named Athlete of the Meet after placing first in the 400 meters and 800 meters and taking part in WNL's winning 4x100 and 4x400 relay teams. Kevin Sullivan won the javelin with an ODAC record throw, while Ian McDonald finished first in the 1500 meters. Augustine Kim, Cole Glasgow, and Aaron Jong joined Tallman on the 4x100 relay, while the 4x400 team featured Tallman, Jack Jones, Charlie Zacharias, and Isidro Camacho. Jong, who now holds the school record in the 100-meter dash, finished second in that event and third in the 200 meters, while Jones, Dylan Myers, and David Fishman also claimed all ODAC honors in individual events. Women's track and field also placed third at the Conference Outdoor Championship. Once again, Annalise Madison was named the ODAC Scholar Athlete of the Year, while Dana Lee received Co-Rookie of the Year honors. At the conference meet, Lizzie Stanton won the pole vault, finishing just ahead of teammates Jillian Catterhagen and Alex Hagen. Madison finished second in the 800 meters and 1500 meters, while Lee placed third in the 200 meters and the triple jump, breaking her own school record in the process. She also joined Sarah Helms, Janie Fugate, and Cara Ferroni on the school record-setting 4x400 relay team that finished second overall. The men's lacrosse team went 11-6 against one of the nation's toughest schedules, finishing in a 3-way tie for first in the ODAC with an 8-1 conference record. The Generals earned the number 2 seed for the ODAC tournament, falling 12-9 to Lynchburg in the conference semifinals in Salem. Midfielders Joe Wood and Jared Mitchell joined defenseman Colin Frazier on the All-ODAC first team, while Cameron DeBeer was named the conference's Scholar Athlete of the Year. And we'll finish with the team that isn't finished yet. Women's lacrosse won its 15th ODAC championship this spring, going 10-0 in conference play and then defeating Guilford 9-6 in the conference title game here in Lexington. Senior attacker Margaret Klein was named ODAC Player of the Year, and she was joined on the all-conference first team by senior defenders Leanne Stone and Olive Waxter. At Watfield this weekend, the Generals earned the program's 5th ever NCAA tournament victory, knocking off Denison 13-5 in a second-round matchup. WNL will head to regional competition on a 13-game winning streak, traveling to Amherst to face 4th-ranked TCNJ in the round of 16 on Saturday. Another victory would send the Generals into the national quarterfinals for just the second time in program history. For the Washington and Lee Athletics Year in Review, I'm Jeremy Franklin.